Or you better push.
Now push, baby.
Start thinking about America as what it is. It's a business.
Push, Steven, and catch it, honey.
America is a game. You learn the game. You live the life you want to live.
I know that's right.
As long as it's not directly affecting you, okay.
I like facts.
Yes, I ain't got time. And who knows how long I have.
You know how sometimes you look like what you've been through?
You can't have no more of my time. I be looking at myself like, I'm really finna go get some Botox, girl.
The facts are...
Bitch, you can protect yourself, but you can also do A, B, C, D, and E. And that's just about accountability.
Some of that shit wasn't making no sense, girl.
Taking ownership of
I know nothing.
the choices that you have made or the choices you have not made.
If it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel secure and safe, good. Just don't bother me, and I'm not gonna bother you by it.
You pulled that like Bernadine on Waiting to Exhale, baby.
Bruh.
What's going on? Talk to me. Yeah. what's good?
Nah, it's just one of them times when, like we talked about the other week, when it was like, sometimes we get on here and we got the, I'm having a day where it's girl, you better push, bitch.
Now push, baby.
Push, Steven, and catch it, honey.
I know that's right.
I just like, girl, we gonna do this and we gonna have a blast.
Right now, like I just don't feel any limits at this point. But it's just the mindset has definitely shifted. The energy has shifted. And I'm like, let's go, girl. Like even just thinking about what we do with this YouTube channel, like, and our shows, like it's giving, let's go, girl. Like, let's go. People stop thinking about America as a country and a place to live and start thinking about America as what it is. It's a business. It is a place that was built on business. This is how you survive. America is a game. You learn the game. You live the life you want to live. Very simple.
It is simple. It's a certain darkness to that you have to submit to and just be okay with. And, because I'm like, fucking Bane from Batman.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Like that's an easy thing for me to accept. Because like, yeah, this place is a total trash bag. Like before you can accept what you just said, you have to be a person that has already dismantled like the fairy tale in your head, or you won't be able
that you can change the world.
Yeah.
Like
the world is like actually, gives a fuck about you particularly. Yeah. Like, it does not. It doesn't. Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, are you choosing to stay in that place and continuing to operate from a place of poor mentality and trying to figure it out in the hopes of just kumbayaing with the world while the world continues to fuck you? Like, no, I'm gonna get mine and I'm gonna live the life that I want to live, that I desire for myself. And I'm gonna get what's mine. Is it?
Right. It's like if the world's gonna fuck me, the least it can do is make me nut. Like that's the least it can make me do. Like it's kind of where I am, and where I've always been. Like I've said before, like I started the YouTube channel by myself. I could have just done that, but I want to do this with it. Like I want to share. Like I don't want to, I don't have kids. I'm not married. Like, I don't have, so this is what I pour into. And so I want to be able to share. Because how boring is it to, do this all alone?
Right.
You know how sometimes you look like what you've been through?
Listen, I be looking at myself like, bitch, I'm really finna go get some Botox, girl, because
man,
I've been thinking.
Jeez, if you can't read yourself, y'all.
That's exactly how I've been feeling, because I'm just like, girl, life ain't really been stressing me out. It's just I've been doing a lot of thinking, plotting, planning on how to step out of this situation that I'm in and how to never, ever return. So it's like when you just constantly burying yourself into you be wearing yourself out. But it's a good thing, though. Definitely a good thing.
That's probably my problem. Like, I don't have a whole lot of other outside thought or influence or energy most of the time, other than this little furry bastard over here who's like licking his asshole right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, it can be a little, I guess, I don't want to say I'm exhausted with myself because I'm not. I really enjoy me, but, um, you know, sheesh.
Yeah,
I
you
can,
just gotta just step on out because guess what? The world is there
ugh,
and it's gonna be there. It ain't going nowhere. And you magnify the things that work for you and the things that don't work for you. You say fuck it. And as long as it's not directly affecting you, fuck it. Like I don't care to even engage. Whatever don't work for me, and I'm focusing on what does and trying to keep that in my forefront because I ain't got time. And who knows how long I have. Like, and oftentimes when I think about it, I put into perspective. I was thinking about this morning, like, bitch, I lost my best friend um a year and a half ago.
yeah.
And it's just like you couldn't have paid me to believe that I was gonna lose him at fucking 33. Well, right before he turned 33. So it's just like, girl. You can't have no more. Like, I went through my grieving process, and then once I'm out of that, I'm just like, no, something has to change. Like, you can't have no more of my time. Mm-mm.
Hey,
And I'm to myself, like my whatever way I was thinking, whatever old way I was operating, I'm saying that to me because I have been the problem. I've been pushing things off. And it's just about accountability and taking ownership of the choices that you have made or the choices you have not made, and just sitting there with not making a decision. That's also a choice. So yeah, that's it. Talk to me. What's up?
uh, it's like I should have died when I was 32. So it's like it's tough for me because I'm so appreciative that I'm still like here, but um as you were talking about, like, you know, putting stuff down and, like, you know, not giving it any more of your time, it's tough because as grateful as I am, I don't know if I'll ever be able to like put it down and walk away from it. And that is you know, coming up on 40, and I'm like, damn, like that was a while ago, but it still feels like I got diagnosed today. And it's just it's I wrestle with that. So I'm hearing you say that, like, I'm like, gosh, I hope I can figure out how to how to do that myself.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm feeling. Um, is it's just, you know, I went to sleep one day and I woke up somebody else, like literally. And that's also another thing I'm having to wrestle with is, you know, this wasn't surgery on your arm, it was your brain. And so I'm not the same.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad sometimes or angry or like lonely. Dancing with death is like a really it's a really interesting thing. And if it hasn't happened to you, like even if like you've seen it, like someone go through, it's not the same, you know. You just kind of, you always have like a respect for death and like understanding what that is. But like I think it's one thing for like, for you to actually die, but it's another to like survive and be like, oh shit, I was like that close, and like that's what it feels like, you never forget that. And I don't know many people other than Eddie who have like been through something like that. And I'm as I'm talking, I think I'm realizing that I probably need to seek out more people who have had experiences kind of like mine, maybe even worse, so that I can, because I think I've been not unfairly, but I think I've just been expecting people, in my circle, my friends, family, to understand, who never will. It's like asking a white person to understand what it's like being Black. You're not going to understand that, no matter how empathetic you are. So I thank you for having me talk. I would not have. Trying to be better about not keeping everything inside and smiling all the time when I don't want to.
I get that. Trust me, I understand way more than you may realize. If I may share with you, I too have had a almost near-death experience, and it's not.
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Okay, I got you.
I don't normally like cry anymore because my meds kind of help with that, and we still got a show to do, so I gotta like keep it together.
No, this is good. We haven't had a good talk.
All right, cool. Yeah, you
Well, you ain't got to do all that for me, boo. We good. Listen, this is your moment. Have it. But no, like I completely get that. Like you have to release that. You can't just continue to, and when you're accepting something so traumatic that happened to you. It's a process. It's not something you could just drop off and keep it moving. It sticks with you. You're okay. You got this. Don't nobody know you like you know you. Okay?
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. Listen, man. I really, I talk a lot of shit and I say a lot of things, and I'm like, very, very direct and honest about the way I feel about things. But there's also a sense of, even though shit's rough, and I feel like I've definitely had more than my fair portion of shit happen to me, like since my memories start at like 4, I feel so other than most people, and I don't even mean that in like a negative way. I feel, even with everything, I feel like a very special person, and I don't really I'm glad to have that self-assurance without needing that from anyone else, especially with what I've been through. I think just to give myself a moment of like, pat myself on the back, for me to have been through, and I'm a good guy, man. You know what I mean? I'm a good guy, and so shouts out to me for that.
Yeah.
We could do a show now. All right. You see what I learned in therapy? You see what I've learned, huh? You see what I've learned? You go through and it hurts, and it still feels like shit. I might cry later, but you know what? I didn't leave myself in there. You know what I mean?
Listen, I get it. Trust me. I still go back to a place in 2012 where I thought I was gonna die, and I just, one thing that, and I probably just got over it maybe like a couple of years ago. Not necessarily got over it, but able to deal with it and process it differently. Because it's like you feel guilty for not doing more when you have a second chance at life. And it's like you want to do more, but it's just like fighting through it and getting to that point. It's a lot. I get it. So that's why I say you have to extend yourself some grace, because that's heavy. That's a heavy, heavy load to bear when you are this natural, happy-go-lucky person and you want to hang on to that person and save that person so much. But sometimes you just gotta like let that person die just a little bit. You ain't gotta let it go completely, but just let that person die a little bit, because a good chunk of that person is gone. You're not the same person anymore. So you're trying to hang on to this old person that you were and get back to the things that you felt, or like get back to your older self, or your what you perceived as your normal self, and that person's gone. And you have to get to know this new person, and you don't know this bitch and you don't like this bitch, but she's in your head now and you can't get rid of this bitch. But you got to make friends with that bitch, and you got to put her in her place and let her know, like, girl, you ain't running this. And that's what I've had to do for myself, for my own peace, because while I know I have not done everything that I should have, could have, would have, whatever, I've been fighting for me internally and so-called protecting myself. But now that we know what is and what isn't, I can now move forward and say, hey, bitch, you can protect yourself, but you can also do A, B, C, D, and E. There's ways to go about it. You don't have to box yourself in. You don't have to think of yourself this way. You don't have to think of yourself anyway. You can live your fucking life and go on about your life. Like, this ain't nothing. It's only as big as you make it. Like, you have that power. You really do. So that's just what I've been working on for me, and just getting to a place where I'm not letting anything from my past control what the fuck my future got for me.
Yeah.
I can't. I've done that. I've seen that it's gotten me nowhere. I've seen that it's gotten me nothing but more pain. And it's just like, I'm gonna try something different. Like, I'm gonna give this I'm gonna go a different route, girl. We gonna take the scenic route. We gonna get off the highway for a minute and slow it down a bit, because girl, in and out these lanes is wearing me out. You know what I'm saying? Let me just get in the slow lane for a bit and take the long way around, but we go get there eventually. So listen, I got you, girl. We got this. We got this.
Yeah, I'm like sweating now.
Bitch, me too. I'm like so hot right now.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I used to be much better at thinking that way, and having those. I think what happened was, in a nutshell, I went my whole life like being like healthy, nothing wrong with me. And then I went to the doctor one day, and it was like, no, bitch, you about to die. Like, it was like, oh my God, so like, to go optimistically is like, okay, girl, you fooling yourself, because me, I'm Mr. Realist, and I do that with myself too. Like, I don't even give myself any space. I'd be like, no, bitch, because what's going to happen is, and what's going to happen with your dumb ass. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I think I know where it comes from, and I know why I don't have the hope anymore, but I need to find a way to force my brain to think from another angle, because this one ain't working.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm grateful to be here. Shit, I am.
Because everybody don't get that chance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who I'm grateful to, but I'm grateful. One day I'm gonna get on here, and we're gonna get like super, and we're just gonna talk about like all things religious, spiritual, existential, multiverse, like just all the shit, because the way that my mindset and like outlook has changed, especially since going through that, and like looking at, I like facts. Facts are nice. I like them. And so I look at the facts, and the facts are, some of that shit wasn't making no sense, girl. And I don't know, I just be getting
like thinking about the multiverse, it was like, what if I made a different choice?
Like that's literally like because all that, that stuff in that book, child. I don't know. But anyway, we'll talk about that one day. And that's a whole episode.
I was praying earlier on my way home, just saying my prayers of thanks. And girl, at the end, I said, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus, thank you, universe, thank you, ancestors, thank you, Allah, girl, whoever it is looking out for me, girl, I thank you. Because at this point, I don't know. And sometimes my brain be all over the place. But whoever you are, whatever the God or gods that are looking out for me and my well-being, girl, I thank you.
Yeah.
Why I don't know. And I just have to do that for my sanity because I believe a few things. I believe multiple things. And do I believe there's just one thing? No. Pray your prayer and let me pray mine.
Yeah, and it really shouldn't, like, what do you care what I believe? What does you really, and when I think for me, like when I think about things like that and I really start to break it down, I'm like, don't none of this shit matter. It don't matter. Like, and so like we out here angry with each other, fighting, hating each other, or based
on the whole fucking point.
Like, what are we doing? Sometimes I'm like, has anybody just stopped and thought for a second? Wait, everybody just stop. Does this make any sense? Like, just like, bro, all I know is that I know nothing. That's what I feel. Like, I don't know anything. So if you believing that this nigga got up 3 days after he got beat to death and he ascended, and you want to believe that even though you don't believe gay people are fine to exist in this, I don't get it. But okay, you ain't got, fine, just don't bother me about that. And I'm not, if it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel secure and safe, good. Just don't bother me, and I'm not gonna bother you by it.
It's a mind control thing.
I'm gonna keep people tame and give people some like moral compass. Yeah.
This has blessed me immensely, and I'm so happy that I got to experience it.
I am happy that you got to experience it so that we could experience this conversation. I appreciate you very much.
Anytime, boo. You know what it is. So
figure out this lighting up here. Whatever. Who cares? It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?